What is going on, guys? How are you guys doing? It is Perkins Talks. It is all things Perkins. Listen, y'all, the other day, Monday, well, it really doesn't matter because you're going to be watching this any other time, right? So the other day, I was stuck on the road. My tire blew out. I got a flat. Okay, well, my tire blew out, so I didn't really get it flat, so it just blew out. So my tire blew out, y'all, and I had I had to readjust this mic. I'm sorry, y'all. So anyway, like I said, the other day I was stuck on. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. All right, I think we're good. So the other day, I was stuck on the highway. My tire blew out. It was the longest day of my life. Let me tell you, it was the longest day of my life. It was like the worst ever. I would not want someone to go through what I went through. It was horrendous. It was atrocious. It was everything. So it started out. So I finished work, right? I finished work at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I finished work at 2 o'clock, and I was like, you know what? Let me go back to the boonies. So I went back to the boonies where I live when I don't work. Okay, when I don't have work in Fort Worth, I stay at another place, whatever. So anyway, so I was driving there. I get gas. And I see, and so I look at the tires, just checking and stuff like that because I get a little fearful sometimes with my car. My car has been put on. My car has been through it. Okay, I put on some miles on my car. Okay, so my car is starting to get old. I realized that. Anyway, so So I go to the gas station, I fill up, I check the tires all good. I go wash the window, I'm like, all right, cool. So I get outside of one town that has many gas stations and stuff like that, just in case something happens. And I pass to another town, and then finally I get to where I have to, I get to about 10-15 minutes out from where I have to go off an exit to go to where I stay. So all of a sudden I feel this rumble in my car. I feel this rumbling. I hear it, because I always play my music loud, but I hear this rumbling. It's louder than my music. I hear it, and my car is just shaking. My car is shaking, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm like, what is going on? And I think to myself, I say, you know what? My tire blew out. I was like, nah, that's not it. So I keep on driving. But ladies and gentlemen, my car was like, well, I had in my mind, I was like, you know what? Let me stop right here. So I pull over the side of the road. I look at the tire. I'm like, oh my goodness, my tire blew out. So I was like, you know what? It'd be fine. So I kept driving I put on my hazards. I kept driving for a little bit, and then I was like, I can't do this. So I texted my girlfriend, because she just texted me like 30 minutes before. So I texted my girlfriend, and I was like, hey, you still up? She was like, well, kinda. So I was like, hey, my tire blew out. So she asks the question that everybody always asks, right? Well, that everybody asked this day. They was like, do you have a spare? Ladies and gentlemen, I do not have a spare. Reason why I don't have a spare is because when I had an accident one time for my car, and then I took it to a place out in Arlington, and then when I got the car back, there was no spare in the car. I should have told them, hey, there was a spare when I got into the accident, but now that I'm out from the accident, there's no spare. What's going on? I should have said that, but I did not, ladies and gentlemen. I let them take my spare tire. So now I was without a spare. So my girlfriend was like, well, all spares are the same, so I'll just come out there. You could put my spare tire onto your car. And I'm like, really? Okay, come on. So she drives out to where I am. So now this is like almost like 3:30. When she finally gets out to me, it's like about almost 4:30 now. So she gets out, and so we jack up the car. We loosen the bolts. We loosen everything. We take out my tire. We put it onto her tire and stuff like that. There's gonna be a point to this whole video. So we take out my tire. She puts on her tire and stuff like that. And we tried to put her tire on, and it didn't fit. So I kind of knew that, but anyway, it didn't fit. So I started Googling if there is a difference from her car to my car, and there is a difference from her car to my car, because her car is more of like an SUV, and my car is more not an SUV. It's a Ford Fusion. So anyway, so now it's about. So when we finally mess around, we started doing that. The stars were out at nighttime. It was looking so beautiful at nighttime. It was looking so gorgeous at nighttime. I'm like, oh my God, the stars out. The stars out. It's so beautiful. Okay, I'm here with my boo boo, and the stars out. It's so beautiful. Anyway, so now it's just like, all right, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I'm not leaving my car. Like, I'm not leaving my car on the side of the highway. I'm not doing that, right? And like I see people that actually, because you know what, we've gotten the tire off of the car. We gotten the blowout tire off of the car, so now anybody can come by and jack me for the rest of my tires. I ain't doing that. That's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy. So anyway, so now it's about 6 something. She has to go to work, and so I was, or like 5. It was like 5:45, whatever. So I was like, all right, you know what? You just go over to work, and then I'll just stay here. It's like, oh, that's not smart. I'm like, listen, there's certain reasons why this is smart, and this is smart. Trust me, I'm not leaving my car. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first car ever. You think I'm going to leave my car on the side of the road, ladies and gentlemen? I am not going to do that. That's not nice. So anyway, so I'm staying in the car, whatever, and people just driving by, driving by, and especially at 5 o'clock in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. There was a lot of traffic at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what are y'all doing up? But of course, it's a Monday morning, so people doing what they got to do. So anyway, so people driving by, drive by, and so and then one guy stops. Yeah, that's not important. But anyway, so one guy stops on the side of the road, truck, whatever, and he's like, hey, what's going on? Is everything all right? So I was like, yeah, everything. Yeah, I had a blowout, see, look, there's my tire right there. I had a blowout. We tried to fix it. My girlfriend came out. We tried to fix it, and we couldn't fix it and stuff like that. So she's at work right now. I'm just trying to wait, And so he's like, oh man, I wish there was more I could help and stuff like that, but obviously there's nothing I can do. So I'm like, well, process of elimination, of course there's nothing you can do. So I was like, yeah, all right, well, thank you. I'll see you next time, sir. Okay. So he leaves. He goes away, and then all of a sudden, I lay back, because I'm watching some HBO show, whatever. I'm watching, doing, just chilling out, and I start dozing off. I'm like, okay, I start dozing off again. I'm like, oh man. So like, even though I was tired, I wasn't really, really, really tired, y'all. So anyway, next thing I see, I see a sheriff car pass right by on the highway. I was like, how you gonna just drive by if you a sheriff? Because I did call the sheriff to the county sheriff. I've called their office a couple of times to figure out some tow trucks or whatever. But of course nobody was answering the phone at that time. But anyway, so now this is like 8 in the morning or something like that. So I see a sheriff car pass by. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And then my eyes start to doze off, and all of a sudden I see the troopers coming up on my car. I'm like, oh Lord, please let this guy have a heart of compassion, Lord. Please let this guy have a heart of compassion. Please let this guy have a heart of compassion, Lord. Please let this guy have a heart of compassion. Because I don't want another ticket, y'all. I don't want another ticket. I don't need another ticket. I don't need to pay Texas more money. I just don't. I don't. So anyway, so the state trooper gets out of the car. He's like, hey, so what's going on here, buddy? So I was like, well, I have a flat. I have a tire blown out, as you can see. And we just aren't able to fix it yet. Well, why not? Because I can't fix it. He goes, well, here's the mysterious question that everybody asks me. Do you have a spare? No, I don't have a spare, sir. I do not have a spare. He was like, okay. All right. And so I was like, yeah, because, my girlfriend came out and was trying to help, and she couldn't do it, but she had to go to work. So now we just have to, figure something out. I'm trying to get some money together, just trying to do this, because I don't have the money. So I'm just trying to get money together. I'm trying to get people to bless me so that I can actually bless my car and get a new tire. So he was like, all right, well, yeah, this is my route. So and he was like, oh, he goes, oh, so where you headed to? So I was like, oh, well, I'm headed to such town. He goes, all right, oh yeah, I know that area. Yeah, I know that area. So I was like, okay. And so then he was just like, he says, all right, well, this is my area here. So I'll be patrolling back and forth, and yeah, I'll just check back on you in a little bit, all right? So I'm like, all righty, sir. Thank you. So I'm just I'm like, man, this is crazy. So anyway, so the cop leaves, whatever. State trooper leaves. And he never checked back on me. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. He never checked back on me. So now it's like 10 o'clock in the morning now. So now we're able just to gather some cash together. And by like 12, we go down to one town to go get the tire. We get the tire. I'm like, oh, man, this is great. And we come back. We go to the car. Thank God my car is still there. There's no ticket on the car or nothing like that. All the other tires are still there. Thank God. Hallelujah. Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So we put the tire back on. We fixed the tire. We put the tire back on, and now we head out to where we have to go and stuff like that. And now it's like about almost like 3 o'clock before we finally just got things done, right? So I say all of that to say this, okay? This is my main point, okay? And I'm going to tell y'all this, especially when it comes to mental health, right? Mental health. Because we know that there are people who struggle with suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety, everything, right? If you see someone on the side of the road of life, go and help them. It may be outside of your comfort zone. It may be something that you're not used to. It may be something that you don't really want to do. But there are people who need your help. There are people who need guidance. There are people who just need help, genuine help, because there are people who decided that the pain that they're going through is so bad. It is so horrible. It is too much for them to bear. So they decided that it is okay for them to take their life, and they are no longer here. And so in that case, that the people who are in their inner circle, their family, their friends, whoever, that they don't have to deal with them no more. So they decided that it is best for them to take their life so that people will no longer have to deal with them anymore. Let me tell y'all something. That is a very horrible way to go out. That is a very bad thing, because now the family will be suffering because of this person no longer there, especially if they like the person, right? But now the family is suffering because this person is no longer there. This person is no longer in their life. So you know what? It's up to us to call the suicide hotline, to call these hotlines for this person. But yes, the problem with that is that you can always bring the horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink. And my mom always told me that. But the reason why I tell y'all that is that you can bring information, you can bring everything that's needed to get this person the help that they need, but yet it's up to them to do what they need to do. It is up to them to actually take the help and utilize the help. Sometimes that is difficult because they don't want to be a burden on somebody. That is the reason why they commit suicide, is because they don't want to be a burden to somebody. But we need to understand that they are not a burden, and they need to get the point that they are not a burden. Yes, times are difficult. Yes, times is hard. There are people who struggle financially. There are people who are struggling mentally. There are people who are struggling physically. There are people who are struggling. Everybody's struggle may not be the same. Everybody's struggle may be different, but yet it is up to us to see someone struggling and to actually get involved. That is something that we need to do in life. When we see someone struggling, when we see someone that is hurt, that is struggling with pain, that just can't understand it no more, that they can't just see the light of day no more, it is up to us to get the help that person needs. It is up to us to get the resources to that person so that they in turn can actually do the work themselves. We need to bring people to the river, but yes, they need to sip on the water themselves. They need to be able just to drink from the well themselves. But if you see someone struggling, get help for them. Get help to them. Don't just say, oh, well, yeah, I knew that they were struggling with A, B, C, D, F, G. The fact that you knew that and you did nothing is horrible. The fact that you knew that they were struggling and did nothing is bad. That's why you need to get help for these individuals. There's suicide hotlines. There's depression hotlines. There's resources that you can do. There's resources that you can give these people. But we need to see them on the side of the road, and we need to meet them where they're at, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just drive by. Don't just wave on by. Don't just say, "Oh, bendito, poor him. Oh, bendito." No, get help for these people. Get help. Any way possible. Get help for them. Like I said, don't just see them on the side of the road. Meet them where they're at and say, "You know what? Man, I feel you. I've been there before." Or even if you haven't been there before, I see you, man. Listen, brother, man. I'm here to help you out. I'm here to help you out. That's what I'm here for. But don't just drive by. Don't just look at them and say, "Aw, I wish I could do something." Because honestly, we all could do something. Honestly, we all could do something. But it's up to us to do the work. It's up to us to get the help. It's up to us to do it. It's up to us, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell y'all, when you start to help people and meet them where they're at, life is much simpler that way. Trust me, life is much simpler that way. You feel good. You feel good inside because you helped them. You feel good inside because you've actually done something good. Trust me. And let me tell y'all, me being stuck on the side of the road, that was the longest day of my life. I never want to experience. This is Perkins Toast. I'll definitely see y'all next time. Definitely talk to y'all next time. If not, I'll probably upset or something like that. I'll see y'all next time. That's crazy.